YouTube. Right, guys and girls, we're still on our pre-release buzz, so we're going to crack into one of the intro packs. We'll show you what you get when you buy an intro pack. So this is the 2015 core set. This retails at $12.99 where we purchased it from at Mad for Miniatures. Other stores are going to vary slightly in prices. You'll probably find them cheaper online, but then online... Support bricks and mortar, guys and girls. Okay, you're paying a bit more for it, and I know you can go and get your singles online and all that kind of stuff. Find a bricks and mortar store that does singles, because you need to support them. If it's not for them doing Friday Night Magic and getting people to play together, the community will fall apart and we won't have Magic the Gathering, so you guys really need to support them. Okay? Definitely. Right, here we go, guys and girls. So this is the Magic the Gathering intro pack 2015 core set. This is the black and red. Right, if you are new to Magic the Gathering, this is how this works. There will be an intro pack with varying colours. Not 100% which of the 5 variations they've done this year, but this is the red and black, so it's going to be swaying towards the red and black side. Very good for starting out if you want to start out this way. It gives you a pack that you can take to Friday Night Magic and learn to play with. It's not going to win you anything. You might get a cat for it. But it's what you need. It's going to help you pick your colours. We're going to do, in the future, the M15... that's a black cat. When it dies, you've got to discard a card randomly from your hand.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's wet.
We'll be doing so many jokes, so little time. It is an over 13, so I could make a joke about a wet something, but I'm not going to, because this is a family show. Right, as I was saying, we are going to be doing videos in the future with the new M15 30 card intro packs, which are really, really good for people who've never played before. And actually really, really good for people who have played before, because if you're playing against someone who's really good and they've got a pre-constructed deck, it's all down to money as well as the ability to play. When you've got these 30 card decks, you're taking out that whole money situation and tech decking and stuff like that. It's just down to who's the better player. I love playing 30 cards against 30 cards in the pre-made starters. It's so much fun. Anyway, right, back onto this one. Inside this, you get 2 boosters as well as your 60 card deck. Let's have a quick look around the box. Nothing on the side, nothing on that side. Underneath, we've got all the blurb. We've got, Wesley Burt did the box illustrations. Well done, Wesley Burt. It's very nice. I do like this whole kind of white feel to the packs. All your gumph, more gumph, stuff about Wizards of the Coast. We love Wizards of the Coast. You're very nice people. And then on the back, we have the demon that we're going to get. Hunt bigger game. Push yourselves to the limit with Magic the Gathering, the world's premier trading card game. Customise your own Magic deck with potent spells and mighty creatures. Then challenge your friends to see who's the fiercest predator. So that's in all of them. And then this is the Infernal Intervention deck. Toy with your enemy with the torrent of removal spells at your disposal. Existence on the battlefield is at your whim. All will live in fear of your dark power. So this sounds like it's going to be blue-red control. Black-red control. Gordon Bennett, I'm talking too much. Sorry about this. So contents. Ready to play 60-card deck featuring a foil premium indulgent tormentor, 2 sealed 15-card booster packs, a strategy insert, and a rules reference card. And then we've got more Magic the Gathering stuff on there. Sorry about the cat once again. We'll just get rid of him, and then I'll leave it to Thrace to open up.
Wouldn't be YouTube without a cat and a video. So, let's get ourselves involved here.
Do you need the knife?
I think
he's got
we're all
it.
good with this box. So, we pull it out.
So if we break down the cost of the £13 that you're paying for this, sorry if you're in America, don't know what the conversion rate works out at. It's probably cheaper to buy Magic cards in America because of they've got to ship them over to buy them here. But when you're paying for 2 £3.15 booster packs, so that's £6.30. You're basically paying about £6.70 for this 60 card deck, which includes a foil premium card.
Yep. As you can see from the front there he is. Lovely, and it's nice, nice little stand that they've provided for it. Sorry if you need to.
Yeah.
One of those.
I'll start opening these up while Thrace is opening up the other ones, and then we can have a look at what else you get in the box.
So from here we can see after opening the little stand for the deck, we've got the 2015 core insert, which is sealed.
Use the knife.
Might have to for that one. Other knives are of course available, but we like this one. There we are. So, opening it up, we can see it comes with the card list for each of the other intro decks. It's quite useful.
So here we go, we can go through the colours of what you get in the different intros then. So Price of Glory is white black, sorry, very popular moment with token generation. Hit the Ground Running, which is blue-green. We like a bit of blue-green. I might have to get myself one of these, depending on what you get inside it, although Roaring Primadux could work very nicely with what I want to do. Infernal Interventions, which is what we're playing at the moment, or looking at the moment. Flames of the Dragon, which is blue-red. Very interesting combination there.
Like blue-red.
And Will of the Masses, which is green-white. Have always been big allies.
Yeah.
And then down the bottom you've got a blurb of each of them and what the deck does and how to play it, and also what kind of cards you might want to be looking for to then make it yourself, to bump it up and buff it up.
And on the other side, quick talk, I mean, if you're new to Magic, how to expand your deck and your collection, etc. It's a lovely artwork of Garuk, poster boy of this set.
Then, of course, we get the two booster packs for this box, so we're going to open those separately on a daily pack opening. But you get 15 cards in there. Those 15 cards consist of 1 rare, 3 uncommons, and then 11 commons.
Yep.
And that makes up your 15. You generally get a token. It would be a bit of a sad day if you don't get a token. Well, it is a sad day when you don't get a token inside a booster pack. I always cry a little inside. And there's a land in there as well, so it helps you build up your land base for later on. But don't worry too much about land, because it's always been very, very common. And it really does give you a taster of what it's like to play Magic with the changing decks up and stuff like that. Now I've opened up the 60 card deck that you get, but also inside is this little puppy. If I let Thrace talk you through that, I'll sort this deck out.
So here we have the rules reference card for the beginners out there. Teaches you through what different parts of a card are, what it means to tap something down. And on the other side, it's got a very basic breakdown of how a Magic turn works and how to play. It's nice to see proper newbies, the very, very beginners, getting a bit of love, some official love from it. It's nice, it's well presented, it's very obvious what each thing is, and it's worded well. Combat phase is properly broken down into each of its little mini steps. And it even lists the different parts of the end phase, which a lot of people forget about. So yeah, this can help even slightly middling players advance to much more detailed play. I like it. It's well done.
So we'll go through the cards you get in the pack. Thrace, here you go. This is the 1-drops for you, sir.
Right, so here we can see all cards around 15, of course. We've got Clear the Path, destroy target creature with Defender. Great way of breaking yourself through those pesky walls. Profane Memento, good for this deck with its theme of creature removal and whatnot. So whenever you kill one of your opponent's creatures, they lose 1 life on top of having their own creature destroyed. Nice and helpful. And typhoid rats.
3 of in this deck.
Yeah, one of the best little blockers around.
I'm a massive fan of typhoid rats because late game or early game it doesn't really matter, because late game you can put out a typhoid rat and it makes people think about throwing their fatty at you. Also early game you've got a 1/1 first turn. I really am a big fan of typhoid rats. I think they're very, very useful. Okay, this is the 2 drops then. We get 2 lightning strikes, which...
Great spell.
3 damage for 2 mana. At instant speed, I think that is pretty awesome, and it's just a common.
It's really useful.
And 2's a nice little balanced number in that deck as well, I think.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 Torch Fiends. Torch Fiends, you can sack them, pay a red mana, and destroy a target artifact. I don't think there's anything that fires off on sacking in this deck, which is a bit of a shame, because Torch Fiends are very useful for that. But getting rid of a removal spell in red and in black against things that aren't creatures are very difficult to come across, so it's good to have
useful.
something like that in. Oh, sorry about that. Right, there you go, Thrice. There's the 3 drops for you.
So here at the 3 mana cost, we have 1 copy of Stab Wound. Stab Wound is 2 colourless, 1 black, enchanted creature, -2/-2. At the beginning of the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, that player loses 2 life. So it gives -2/-2, which means you can remove a creature with only 2 toughness at sorcery speed. You can only play enchantment in your own turn. But equally, you can use it to shrink down one of your opponent's fatties into a more manageable state, and as long as that fatty is in play, it keeps making its controller lose 2 life. Pretty useful. We also have 1 copy of Festa Gloom, which again, 3 mana. Non-black creatures get -1/-1 end of turn. Pretty useful since you're playing black. It only kills your, or affects your red creatures. Your black creatures perfectly fine. Your opponent, if they're not playing black, has all their creatures get smaller.
And post-combat could be a very nice little trick if you've done some damage, they've done some blockers, but you haven't done enough to kill them. That could really fire off and kill some things.
Great to finish them off. Next up we have Wall of Fire. It's a pretty good wall actually, this one. It's a 0/5, which is quite hefty for its 3 mana cost. The fact it's got Defender, as all walls do. But it also comes with the fire breathing ability, so you can use, if you've got enough mana open, you can use this wall to finish off some of your opponent's larger creatures. Next up we have 2 copies of Goblin Rough Rider. He's 3 mana for a 3/2. Very basic creature, high attack value, very useful in red. Just helps you net a little bit of extra damage on your opponents. And after that, we then also have 2 copies of Carrion Crow. Once again, a 2/2 creature with flying for 3, pretty good. Enters the battlefield tapped. Quite frankly, only the most minute of issues, because you can't attack with them the turn they come into play anyway. All it does is limits it to blocking the first turn you play it. Quite a nice little efficient creature. And last but not least, at the 3 mana slot, Gargoyle Sentinel. 3 mana for a 3/3 with Defender. Makes it a pretty good blocker, but you can pay 3, it loses blocker, it loses Defender, gets flying, becomes a great attacker. Nice efficient creature.
Very useful. Right, we've only got a couple of in the 4 drop slot, so we've got a Zoth Shade, which is a 2/2, but it also has the ability to get +2/+2 until the end of turn by paying 3 mana. Really useful if you're attacking first or using it as defending, and your opponent doesn't know what you're going to do, whether you're going to pay that mana. You could use it to finish him off or kill one of his creatures he decides to block with or attack with. Then we have a Gravedigger, which is a 2/2 again, and when it enters the battlefield you return a target creature card from the graveyard to your hand. Really, really useful if you've lost that bomb card in your deck. Right, so we are on to the 5 drops.
Great, so we start with pretty useful spell actually. Cone of Flame. This is what I heard people talking about during the pre-release today. It does 1 damage to a creature or player, then it does 2 damage to another creature or player, and 3 damage to a final creature or player. Pretty useful. It nets you 6 damage, or 6 worth of damage across 3 different targets, but for 5 mana you're effectively doing 6 damage. Pretty useful. You can use it for taking out 3 different creatures. You can use it for taking out 2 creatures and hurting the opponent. All around, pretty useful spell.
Or in multiplayer games,
yeah,
you can use it to spread the pain around semi-evenly.
Next up we have Flesh to Dust. It's not the most efficiently priced spell, but in M15 there is a slight lack of direct absolute removal. This, however, is nice. 5 mana, instant speed, destroy target creature, can't be regenerated. Gets rid of anything as long as it's not like pro-black or indestructible or something, but it gets rid of pretty much all creatures and it stops them being able to regenerate. It's pretty useful. From there we have 1 copy of Thundering Giant. He's a reasonably sized creature, he's a 4/3, and his haste ability can be used to surprise opponents that aren't expecting such a large amount of damage coming their way. We then also have 2 copies of Nightfire Giant. Not bad again. A 4/3 body is reasonably sized for its cost, but it gets +1 as long as you control a mountain. And since this is a black-red deck, you're probably going to already be controlling a mountain, so it will come into play as a 5/4. It then also has an ability that has to do 2 damage to target creature or player. Very useful. It might cost you a lot to do it, but the fact you can do it whenever you want, as long as this creature's in play, almost makes up for the high cost. Pretty nice creature. We then also have 1 Burning Anger. So, enchant your creature. Enchanted creature, tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. Well, as you've seen, we've got quite a few creatures with high power. This could be a great way if your opponent is playing a lot of things to block creatures. You can just force damage through from one of your guys without the risk of it having to run into an attack that it's going to lose. And last but not least in this slot, we come to Indulgent Tormentor. This is of course the foil for this box, it's on the front of it. He's a 5/3 with flying, already pretty nice. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card unless target opponent sacrifices a creature or pays 3 life. Every turn you get a card or your opponent loses a creature or pays 3 life. So some turns he's going to do 8 damage to their face, or he's going to do 5 damage and make them lose a creature, or he's going to do 5 damage and net you a card. Great creature. I really like this guy. He's really efficiently costed and he comes in this box.
And at the moment he's going for really cheap, but I think that might change. I mean, he's coming with every intro pack and he came with the black game day packs. There's a lot of them floating around, but I would say get them quickly because I think they'll get snapped up very, very quickly. Right, in the 6 slot, we have got 2 Blast Fire Bolts. These instant 6 mana to do 5 damage to target creature, destroy all equipment attached to that creature. So it's a very expensive card, but it gets rid of an opponent's bigger creatures, and it gets rid of their equipment that's attached to them. So even if it doesn't kill that creature, it will still get rid of that equipment. Now, it's also an instant. If you're new to Magic, instants mean you can play them at any point in the game, and they happen instantaneously and stop everything else that's happening around it. So if you're attacking someone and their creature is buffed up because it's got all of this equipment on it, you then do the 5 damage to it and destroy its equipment. It still has 5 damage. So because the equipment's gone, it could then drop down below that 5 toughness and still die, or your creature might then do just enough damage to kill it, and without the equipment on it, that attacking creature doesn't do as much damage it's set out to do in the first place. So a really, really versatile card. High cost, but it can win you the game against something really, really powerful. Also in this slot, we have got the Caustic Tar, which is enchants a land, and enchanted land has tap, target player loses 3 life. Really, really useful. By the time you're paying 6 mana for something, you're probably not using all your mana all the time. You put this onto something, maybe something that makes colourless mana, possibly, and then you turn it into a 3 damage every turn. And you can't argue with 3 damage every turn. That really does put them then onto a clock. Slow clock, but they've got to either deal with that or kill you. And it could put them off their game a little bit. Right, we've only got 1 more slot left because it doesn't go up to 7, but we've got a special card which kind of has its own place.
So here we have an X and 1 mana cost spell.
No, it's gone.
I thought so.
Oh no, it's still going, it's still recording.
So, X and 1, Heat Red deals X damage to target creature. So here you can pay as much mana as you've got, and you can do a hefty amount of damage to a creature, or just finish them off no matter how big they are, as long as you've got the mana pool to support it. Really efficient spell, because you can also use it to get rid of a low mana cost creature for a low amount of mana if you've got. Really effective all the way throughout the game. Instant speed. Great little spell. I like this.
Cool. And then we have 13 black and 13 red lands. And then that's it. So I quite like that deck. I think it'd be quite interesting to play.
By no means the worst intro pack I've ever opened. It's not bad. It skews towards the high mana cost a bit, but overall,